proposals for your process analysis speeches, which will begin next week. And we will just go through the list on the roster here and see who's shown up to do your proposal, and then we'll start on those practice speeches next Monday and Wednesday. So with that, looks like Marian's not here, so that brings up Jasmine. I'm gonna just go sit in the back and enjoy the show. Okay, yeah, all right.
Just whenever I'm ready or whenever you're ready?
Just take off.
Okay. The topic that I'll be talking about is how to break a softball and a baseball glove. My process that I plan on bringing in is the items to how to break it. So a softball glove, softball, or baseball, and rubber bands. I have some like oil that I'll put on the glove, and I'll show you the process and the time estimated for it to be where you need it to be. That's
That
about it.
sounds good. Any questions from anybody about that process? Okay, sounds
you.
good. Thanks, Jasmine. Give her a hand. Yeah, we're good. Grace is up next.
For my informational speech, I'm gonna tell everybody about how I make my chocolate chip cookies, and I'm gonna bring some for everybody and then talk about the different ways that I've perfected my recipe and stuff like that is what I'm gonna talk about.
Okay, so on one of these recipe things, are you going to bring some pre-made stuff like the dough or however it
Yeah.
works? Now remember, you have to do this twice, so you do a practice one and then a final one. So kind of keep that in mind with regard to your materials and cookies and everything. So are you gonna actually mix the materials or are you gonna have them pre-made?
Pre-made,
And
and
then
then just talk about how you make them, yeah, like pre-baked, not like anything raw.
Okay, all right, that sounds good. Anybody have any questions? Okay, sounds good, let's give her a hand. Yay, we're good. Caden up there is next.
For my speech, I'm going to be talking about how to grip a golf club and where you need to hit the ball, and and how you need to swing, and that's it.
Okay, so hold on a second. Number one, remember where we are, so first thing out of your mouth when you got up there was what?
I know.
Right, and then you also said sorry, so don't apologize for anything, and don't say
Okay.
Get up there and start talking what you have to talk about.
All right.
What's the wider application of learning about golf? What's the global element of this?
What do you mean?
By learning how to hit a golf ball properly, you can play golf better. But if you learn how to play golf, which is a hard sport, perhaps you could learn other hard things.
Yeah.
So what else, what are the benefits of playing golf?
It teaches discipline.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
That's all I was looking for.
All right.
Okay, give him a hand. He's our only high school student in here, so giving him a rough time. Alyssa. Did you get your tire fixed?
Yeah.
Somebody else do it?
Yeah.
We're gonna have some tire videos for you.
So I did it too. I plan to talk about the process of saddling a horse and why it's important, keeping the rider safe and also keeping the horse comfortable while we're doing it. So I'm gonna explain like preparing the horse before you saddle it, saddling it, and then tightening the girth.
So you're gonna bring in some kind of saddle horse and a saddle?
I'm gonna bring a barrel and a saddle to demonstrate.
Saddle.
Yeah.
Do you need some help getting that up here?
I shouldn't. My cousin was actually in your class last year,
Okay.
Madison Thomas, and she was like, I can get on all fours and show them. I was like, I don't think we need all that.
Okay, good. Well, does anybody have any questions about that one? Okay, we'll see how it goes. Sounds good. Let's give her a hand. Give her a proud. Bailey is up next. She's gonna go faster than I thought.
I plan to talk about how to crochet how to pick the right yarn, what the weights mean, the different hooks and all that.
Okay, and so are you gonna show us things you've made, examples of things you've made already?
I can bring one.
Okay.
I can demonstrate it too.
So you would put your hands underneath the desk camera maybe and do the moves on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you the same question I asked Caden. What's the wider benefit of learning how to crochet?
No.
I mean, you can make things to sell, give things away. Okay, so you're shaking
I'll
your
pick
head.
one.
I want you to think about the wider application of this.
Okay.
Okay? All right, sounds good. Let her go. Yay. Kendall is, there you are. It's in a different place. I almost said your hair is a different color.
Well, my lesson's also gonna be teaching how to crochet, but I'm gonna be showing how to hold your yarn, how you can hold the hook, and then how you can just do a foundation chain and then a basic stitch just to get you started with it. Cause whenever you learn like the basic stitches, like a single crochet and a double crochet, you can make endless amounts. Like you can only use the double crochet and make wearable items like sweaters or hats, or you can do the single crochet to make little plushies. And by crocheting, it helps you a lot with stress relief, which we all need in college, and it helps you, how do I put it, not be stressed about time. You're able to just sit down and just concentrate on one thing, and you're able to think about other things, but you're not as stressed out with time because it can take a couple hours or however long you want it to.
Okay. Any questions? All right. Way to go, Kendall. And Bailey, that's sort of what I was trying to get at with this. You know,
Okay.
stress relief, has benefits because of these reasons. Jesse's not here today. Hunter is back. Yes, last time. Knock this out.
The speech I'm gonna give is about why it's important to check your tire pressure and the benefits of doing that, because there were over 646, I think, fatal crashes in 2023 because of tires. Just tires in general, not just because tire pressure, but tires in general. That's what my speech is gonna give.
What makes you a tire expert?
Well, I have 3 certifications in automotives. I have light maintenance and light repair, brake certification, and what was the other one? Electrical and electrical systems.
Okay, awesome. So the wider application of this obviously is safety. And
Yes, safety, because I don't want no one to have a fatal accident or get into an accident because of a tire.
Right.
And you gotta check it properly with one of these.
Okay, sounds good. Let's give him a hand. David.
I haven't thought of mine yet.
You haven't thought of it?
No.
Well, keep thinking, because we're coming back to you at the end. Kelsey. How are you gonna show us how to beat somebody up or defend ourselves? Or,
There's too many
so that way
ways.
when we get in a confrontation, we'll know what to do.
Mine's a little silly, but I'm gonna show y'all how to make slime. I'm gonna show you the proper ingredients. I'm gonna bring some ingredients and demonstrate it under the thing and I'm gonna bring some I made this past week. But my reasoning for doing this is it's actually a really good way to take your mind off of things and to give yourself a brain break. Because we all need those as college students, as we have things from the world and life and also homework bombarding us. And it's really important to take time just to sit down and just do something fun for yourself. And mine this week was slime. So do any of y'all have any questions about that?
Where did this tradition of making slime come from?
It was a trend a long time ago, like 2016 is whenever I got into it, and I haven't done it in a while, but my birthday's coming up, and so we're like, let's do something fun and make slime. And so we did it, and I'm like, man, I don't know where this went, but we should start bringing it back because it really relieved a lot of stress that was going on for me at that moment. So
Interesting.
I don't necessarily know exactly where it came from or who started it, but maybe I can find that out when I'm doing my research for my speech.
Okay, All right, let's give her a hand. Way to go, Kelsey. Cooper. is up next.
Hello guys, for my speech next week, I'll be talking about the importance of financial saving. So when you guys get checks and get paid, I know it's hard as teens, there's so many things that we wanna go out and buy, like clothes and shoes and all that stuff, but it's very important to set money to the side and also invest at the same time. That way you guys are set up for the future and also have money on the side if there's any emergencies or anything. So I'll kinda go over that, how much you should save each check and how you can kinda break it down, for better, financial in the future.
Okay, so what got you thinking about this?
So my dad does finance kind of stuff for work, and so we were kind of talking about it the other day. I started my job again, and so that was nice getting that first paycheck in, but kind of breaking it down on how I should save it, and also make more money from that check as well through investing and stuff. So I was like, that's very important as us teens because we always need money for some stuff, and so that would be good to talk about.
Okay, any questions? How many bank accounts do you have?
I have 2 or 3. I have 2 right now, but
Okay,
yes, sir.
all right, let's give them a hand. I only ask that 'cause sometimes we have checking, we have savings, we might have a business, we might have an investment account, we might share one with somebody. I'm not asking for your personal information, but since you're bringing up all this financial stuff. Okay, let's see, next, Elena.
So, my topics for this speech will be how to brew the perfect cup of coffee. I plan to work through the process step by step, starting with choosing fresh beans and water, then moving into the brewing method, and finally adjusting the flavor for the best taste.
So now we know you have a coffee expertise, but does the water have to be a certain temperature to get a different flavor?
Yeah.
So how do you gauge the temperature?
Um,
You just boil it.
maybe I will put it in my water to keep the temperature,
Mm-hmm.
and I will show you guys.
Okay, but that is an important part, right? The water is supposed to be a certain temperature.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody other coffee questions? Wait, I have a question. Does your family's farm go through the decaf process? Do they make decaffeinated coffee or just caffeinated coffee?
Just coffee and coffee.
Okay, so they don't make it decaf.
No.
Okay, just curious about that. All right, thank you. Let's give her a hand. Corey is next. We got a lot of time to kill. Anybody else wanna talk some more? Okay, Corey, take off. Take some more time for you.
Okay, so for my speech, I'm going to be showing and explaining the process on how dreams occur and how to track them more so within a journal. So what I will do is I will probably bring in my iPad that more so gives like a visual on how, more so the process to do with the sleep stages and everything to do with that. And then I'll probably have another slide that shows everything that factors that goes into dreams and all of that. And I will also bring in the journal that I keep, how I track my dreams and everything. That's my 3rd time saying that and everything like that. But with the journal, why I chose to do this is because growing up I had a hard time going to sleep. I still have a hard time going to sleep, a lot of nightmares and things like that. So, and I still deal with all of that today. But as I got older, I wanted to be more informed on what goes on within dreams and how they happen, because a lot of factors to do with like stress or anything that makes you happy or just things that happen within your life have to do with a lot of what we dream about. So I wanted to really show the process on how those occur.
And why is this important for the rest of us? What does it benefit us by tracking our dreams and trying to understand them?
Well, that I'm still trying to understand myself because I actually picked this topic when I was like up at like 3:30 last night and wishing I was asleep. So I will come up with a reason.
Okay, any questions, dream questions? No, all right, well, let's hear it for Corey. To you next. And Chia, Bailey, and back to David. Knock it out.
Okay, so for my speech, I plan to explain how to make a soy milk. And I plan to bring a carton of soy milk as the finished product. And I will go through the main steps that soaking the soybeans, blending them with water, straining the mixture, and then boiling it. And the reason I do is because soy milk is an alternative for people who are lactose intolerant like me, and is also more sustainable for the environment compared to the dairy milk. Yes.
Okay, any questions?
Thank you.
Okay, good one, that's a good one. Chia.
I plan to bring Hmong clothes. I mean, not like I mean, I'm gonna bring some, but then it's gonna be like I'm gonna let me restart real quick. So I'm gonna talk about Hmong clothes. So there's many layers to wearing Hmong clothes. There's like you have to wear like Hmong New Year is around the corner, so I'm planning to wear Hmong clothes. So which means like 8 layers of clothes on your body, and it has to be really tight too, and especially for the girls. And I'm also gonna talk about how you make them because my mom she made some, so I might bring that. And I'm also gonna show like the differences of Hmong clothes. So yeah.
Okay, so the process that you're going to describe is how you wear all of these clothes on a specific event.
Yes.
And then in addition to that, you're gonna explain how some of them are made.
Yes.
That's what I'm getting from all this.
Yes.
The wider application of this would be what?
You can it's mostly for Hmong New Year, so like anyone can come, anyone can wear it. So it's just like a way for everyone to like appreciate the culture and just like understand it a bit more.
Okay, so I would add on that these clothes that you wear are an expression of your Hmong identity.
Yeah.
And so it's important for people to recognize who they are, where they come from, and to express that at appropriate times of the year, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, sounds good. Let's hear it for Chia. Way to go. Okay, Bailey, what do you think?
I think I'm about ready.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about the guitar and all of the aspects that go into playing it and the ways that you can benefit from it.
Okay, many questions on this.
Okay.
Of course, I've thought about this myself of bringing a guitar in and doing a sample, but then I thought, well, what would you teach? So there's so many things you can teach.
Mm-hmm.
So are you going to teach how to make a basic chord, how to put a few chords together and make a song?
Mm-hmm.
Are you actually going to play it?
Yeah, I mean, I finally got the nails off.
Oh, the
so.
nails are gone, so you can do
Yes,
that.
So I can.
So the other thing I would back up on that is a starting point of how you get your first guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's important.
Yeah, so from what I've noticed is a lot of people will kind of find guitars that are, you know, kind of laying around somewhere, or they'll go to a thrift store, find one and use it, or I don't even know. So like, of course, for my first experience, I found my dad's old guitar in the back of his shop. So I guess he had never like really tried to play, or at least he did, but he didn't like, you know, having to do the chords at first, so he kind of gave up. But I mean, with me, I found it, and you know, I started learning the chords. I think my first song was, I think it was Risk by Gracie Abrams. I think that was my first, but yeah, so.
So will you also bring a tuner and show how to tune it?
Yeah, so I use an app on my phone.
Okay.
But yeah, I can show how to do that.
Okay, so selecting a guitar, getting one,
Yes.
tuning it, making a chord, maybe making two chords and going back and forth between those two, because a lot of songs you just need two chords and you have a song.
Yeah, I can talk about how you kind of like slide a chord down because a lot of songs use that. So
Yes. Okay. Capo?
yeah, oh yeah, I can bring that.
Okay. All right, well, that's a lot of good stuff. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, we'll look forward to seeing how that goes. Way to go. And finally, David is going to teach us how to. Wait, I had a question for you, starting.
Yeah.
Do you fish?
Huh?
Do you fish?
Yeah. Well, not now, but I did. So I used to.
Well, I wondered because, you know, I see you wear Bass Pro Shop. I always wonder if people who wear Bass Pro Shops just got them free for going there.
Oh no.
Or they actually fish, and so that's why.
I used to fish a lot, but for my speech, I'm gonna be talking about how to cut weight. For combat sports, there's weight classes. It's very important to cut weight so you can have an advantage. It's not healthy. You guys should not do that unless you have to make a certain weight. But if you need to lose 20 pounds in a week, I'm gonna give out some steps for that.
Okay, so what's the wider application of this?
Well, I wouldn't do it on my own time because it's not too good for you. But if you for any reason need to like be lighter for a sport like weightlifting, they have weight classes too. You can maybe take a thing or two from this.
So here's what I say about that. So remember, we have people watching at home. There could be some little kids watching this or something, you know, at noon. Who knows where they're watching this?
Yeah.
So we don't want to advise people to do something that's contrary to their health.
Well, I'm gonna try to talk about it the safest way. Obviously, there's like health implications. You gotta watch your kidneys and stuff. So, I would not do it for like fitness purposes. So, if there's anything else,
Well, I think there should be some wider application health-wise. It's like, well, if you can drop 20 pounds in a week, okay. But A, why? But B, are there healthy ways to lose weight that can benefit us? You see what I'm getting at is, because there are benefits to not weighing too much because your skeleton gets overwhelmed.
yeah.
So I think that you have to, well, you can do your specific thing of like, you need to lose 20 pounds so you can make weight for this fight. That's one thing. But maintaining a healthy weight should also be a balanced part of this talk.
Well, there's a lot of nutrition that goes into it. You can also I can also talk about losing weight long term with a calorie deficit. So that I can also do that.
I think that would be a good balance. So it's not just one extreme way to lose weight so you can do whatever. But put that in the context of healthy weight and all the nutrition that goes into that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Questions on that one? Nobody? Okay, let's give him a hand. Yay. Well, that took a lot less time than I thought it was gonna take. So the way that I prepared for that was to look at a couple of process analysis videos. So what we're gonna do is just watch a couple of these, take up some more time. I can talk a lot, but I'm always talking a lot. Y'all heard a lot from me on Monday. By the way, if you weren't here on Monday and you want to hear the complete overview of the process analysis essay, so I think a couple of you, David, maybe Kendall, maybe Hunter, Caden, I don't think you were here. You were here. So whoever wasn't here, check that video out because I go through the whole thing, the outline. And oh, if you weren't here, you need the actual paper outline too, don't you? So would somebody, Corey, well, never mind. I'll just go do it. Blank screen. Oh, nice. See, they switched to the class screen. That's good. If you weren't here, I have an outline for you. So there's one.
I was here.
Oh, you were here?
Yeah, how long do you want the speech to be?
Under 5 minutes. Who else wasn't here? David? Anybody else? Okay. I remember you were here, Kendall, because we were talking about the beaded Hello Kitty thing that came up. Okay, so let's go to our video. And let's start with this one. And then while this is playing, I'm going to look for a different one. This is What Makes a Leader Great? Let's see what he has to say for us and how he says it.
Leadership is perhaps one of the most misunderstood subjects in business. Leadership has nothing to do with rank. I know many people who sit at the highest levels of an organization who are not leaders. We do as they tell us because they have authority over us, but we do not trust them and we do not follow them. I also know people at low levels of organizations that have no formal authority, but they've made a choice. The choice to look after the person to the left of them, the choice to look after the person to the right of them, and we would trust them and follow them anywhere. Leadership is the awesome responsibility to see those around us rise. You, every one of us, can choose to be the leader we wish we had. We lead our teams and we can lead our clients when we decide that we will do everything in our power to see them rise, to see them achieve their ambitions and their dreams.
First of all, notice how slowly he's speaking, how measured he is in his speech. But secondly, you see his hand motions. He's really trying to draw in the listener with the way that he's using his hands. And he also has a good subject, because this is something that we all will approach, especially when you graduate and get out there into the world.
And this is what servant leadership means. I serve your dream rather than you serve my bottom line. And it's totally fine to have financial goals. It's totally fine to have metrics, because that becomes the proof of value that somebody wants to give you their money because they believe in you. It is proof positive. But the best leaders I know are students of leadership. There's no such thing as an expert leader. It doesn't exist. Like there's no such thing as an expert parent. It doesn't exist. Right? We are students of leadership. And even the most senior leaders constantly are reading books, reading articles, watching talks, having conversations all the time about leadership. They're always in learning mode. And I think for anyone who wants to be a leader, you have to choose to be a student of the subject. Like anything, if you want to be good at something, you have to study it. And the most ignored characteristic of leadership, we talk about vision and charisma. Yes, these are important. But I've known some wonderful leaders who don't have huge world-changing vision. I've known some wonderful leaders that are quiet and sit in the corner, but they all have courage. The courage to advance a vision, the courage to ignore the short-term ups and downs of the business, the courage to take risks on people, the courage to believe in people, the courage to speak truth to power, the courage to do the right thing and have integrity. I think courage is a very undervalued characteristic of leadership.
Okay, interesting. Now I want you to see this particular one. This is from a commencement.
Just like there's no such thing as an expert.
This commencement speech was given by a Navy admiral. And I want you to see what it says here. Let's get to that. I think we have enough time to watch most of it. This is a commencement speech at the University of Texas. Listen to how he does this.
Well, thank you, President Powers, Provost Fenves, deans, members of the faculty, family and friends, and most importantly, the class of 2014. It is indeed an honor for me to be here tonight. It's been almost 37 years to the day that I graduated from UT. I remember a lot of things about that day. I remember I had a throbbing headache from a party the night before. I remember I had a serious girlfriend who I later married. That's important to remember, by the way. And I remember I was getting commissioned in the Navy that day. But of all the things I remember, I don't have a clue who the commencement speaker was, and I certainly don't remember anything they said. So acknowledging that fact, if I can't make this commencement speech memorable, I will at least try to make it short. So the university's slogan is, what starts here changes the world. Well, I've got to admit, I kind of like it. What starts here changes the world. Tonight there are almost 8,000 students, or there are more than 8,000 students graduated from UT. So that great paragon of analytical rigor, Ask.com, says that the average American will meet 10,000 people in their lifetime. 10,000 people, that's a lot of folks. But if every one of you changed the lives of just 10 people, and each one of those people changed the lives of another 10 people, and another 10, then in 5 generations, 125 years, the class of 2014 will have changed the lives of 800 million people. 800 million people. Think about it. Over twice the population of the United States. Go one more generation, and you can change the entire population of the world, 8 billion people. If you think it's hard to change the lives of 10 people, change their lives forever, you're wrong. I saw it happen every day in Iraq and Afghanistan. A young Army officer makes a decision to go left instead of right down a road in Baghdad, and the 10 soldiers with him are saved from a close-in ambush. In Kandahar province, Afghanistan, a non-commissioned officer from the female engagement team senses that something isn't right and directs the infantry platoon away from a 500-pound IED, saving the lives of a dozen soldiers. But if you think about it, not only were those soldiers saved by the decisions of one person, but their children were saved, and their children's children. Generations were saved by one decision, one person. But changing the world can happen anywhere, and anyone can do it. So what starts here can indeed change the world. But the question is, what will the world look like after you change it? Well, I'm confident that it will look much, much better. But if you'll humor this old sailor for just a moment, I have a few suggestions that may help you on your way to a better world. And while these lessons were learned during my time in the military, I can assure you that it matters not whether you ever served a day in uniform. It matters not your gender, your ethnic or religious background, your orientation, or your social status. Our struggles in this world are similar, and the lessons to overcome those struggles and to move forward, changing ourselves and changing the world around us, will apply equally to all. I've been a Navy SEAL for 36 years, but it all began when I left UT for basic SEAL training in Coronado, California. Basic SEAL training is 6 months of long, torturous runs in the soft sand, midnight swims in the cold water off San Diego, obstacle courses, unending calisthenics, days without sleep, and always being cold, wet, and miserable. It is 6 months of being constantly harassed by professionally trained warriors who seek to find the weak of mind and body and eliminate them from ever becoming a Navy SEAL. But the training also seeks to find those students who can lead in an environment of constant stress, chaos, failure, and hardships. To me, basic SEAL training was a lifetime of challenges crammed into 6 months. So here are the 10 lessons I learned from basic SEAL training that hopefully will be of value to you as you move forward in life. Every morning in SEAL training, my instructors, who at the time were all Vietnam veterans, would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. During SEAL training, the students are all broken down into boat crews. Each crew is 7 students, 3 on each side of a small rubber boat, and 1 coxswain to help guide the dinghy. Every day your boat crew forms up on the beach and is instructed to get through the surf zone and paddle several miles down the coast. In the winter, the surf off San Diego can get to be 8 to 10 feet high, and it is exceedingly difficult to paddle through the plunging surf unless everyone digs in. Every paddle must be synchronized to the stroke count of the coxswain. Everyone must exert equal effort, or the boat will turn against the wave and be unceremoniously dumped back on the beach. For the boat to make it to its destination, everyone must paddle. You can't change the world alone. You will need some help. And to truly get from your starting point to your destination takes friends, colleagues, the goodwill of strangers, and a strong coxswain to guide you. If you want to change the world, find someone to help you paddle. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. Several times a week, the instructors would line up the class and do a uniform inspection. It was exceptionally thorough. Your hat had to be perfectly starched, your uniform immaculately pressed, your belt buckle shiny and void of any smudges. But it seemed that no matter how much effort you put into starching your hat or pressing your uniform or polishing your belt buckle, it just wasn't good enough. The instructors would find something wrong. For failing the uniform inspection, the student had to run, fully clothed, into the surf zone, then wet from head to toe, roll around on the beach until every part of your body was covered with sand. The effect was known as a sugar cookie. You stayed in the uniform the rest of the day, cold, wet, and sandy. There were many a student who just couldn't accept the fact that all their efforts were in vain, that no matter how hard they tried to get the uniform right, it went unappreciated. Those students didn't make it through training. Those students didn't understand the purpose of the drill. You were never going to succeed. You were never going to have a perfect uniform. The instructors weren't going to allow it. Sometimes, no matter how well you prepare or how well you perform, you still end up as a sugar cookie. It's just the way life is sometimes. If you want to change the world, get over being a sugar cookie and keep moving forward. Every day during training, you were challenged with multiple physical events, long runs, long swims, obstacle courses, hours of calisthenics, something designed to test your mettle. Every event had standards, times you had to meet. If you failed to meet those times, those standards, your name was posted on a list, and at the end of the day, those on the list were invited to a circus. A circus was 2 hours of additional calisthenics, designed to wear you down, to break your spirit, to force you to quit. No one wanted a circus. A circus meant that for that day, you didn't measure up. A circus meant more fatigue, and more fatigue meant that the following day would be more difficult, and more circuses were likely. But at some time during SEAL training, everyone made the circus list. But an interesting thing happened to those who were constantly on the list. Over time, those students who did 2 hours of extra calisthenics got stronger and stronger. The pain of the circuses built inner strength and physical resiliency. Life is filled with circuses. You will fail. You will likely fail often. It will be painful. It will be discouraging. At times, it will test you to your very core. But if you want to change the world, don't be afraid of the circuses. At least twice a week, the trainees were required to run the obstacle course. The obstacle course contained 25 obstacles, including a 10-foot wall, a 30-foot cargo net, a barbed wire crawl, to name a few. But the most challenging obstacle was the slide for life. It had a 3-level, 30-foot tower at one end and a 1-level tower at the other. In between was a 200-foot long rope. You had to climb the 3-tiered tower, and once at the top, you grabbed the rope, swung underneath the rope, and pulled yourself hand over hand until you got to the other end. The record for the obstacle course had stood for years when my class began in 1977. The record seemed unbeatable until one day a student decided to go down the slide for life head first. Instead of swinging his body underneath the rope and inching his way down, he bravely mounted the top of the rope and thrust himself forward. It was a dangerous move, seemingly foolish and fraught with risk. Failure could mean injury and being dropped from the course. Without hesitation, the student slid down the rope perilously fast. Instead of several minutes, it only took him half that time. And by the end of the course, he had broken the record. If you want to change the world, sometimes you have to slide down the obstacles head first. During the land warfare phase of training, the students are flown out to San Clemente Island, which lies off the coast of San Diego. The waters off San Clemente are a breeding ground for the great white sharks. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. As Navy SEALs, one of our jobs is to conduct underwater attacks against enemy shipping. We practice this technique extensively during training. The ship attack mission is where a pair of SEAL divers is dropped off outside an enemy harbor and then swims well over 2 miles underwater, using nothing but a depth gauge and a compass to get to the target. During the entire swim, even well below the surface, there is some light that comes through. It is comforting to know that there is open water above you. But as you approach the ship, which is tied to a pier, the light begins to fade. The steel structure of the ship blocks the moonlight. It blocks the surrounding street lamps. It blocks all ambient light. To be successful in your mission, you have to swim under the ship and find the keel, the center line, and the deepest part of the ship. This is your objective. But the keel is also the darkest part of the ship, where you cannot see your hand in front of your face, where the noise from the ship's machinery is deafening, and where it gets to be easily disoriented, and you can fail. Every SEAL knows that under the keel, at that darkest moment of the mission, is a time when you need to be calm, when you must be calm, when you must be composed, when all your tactical skills, your physical power, and your inner strength must be brought to bear. If you want to change the world, you must be your very best in the darkest moments. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and one special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive this freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted. And somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start singing when you're up to your neck in mud. Finally, in SEAL training, there's a bell. A brass bell that hangs in the center of the compound for all the students to see. All you have to do to quit is ring the bell. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to wake up at 5 o'clock. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to be in the freezing cold swims. Ring the bell, and you no longer have to do the runs, the obstacle course, the PT, and you no longer have to endure the hardships of training. All you have to do is ring the bell to get out. If you want to change the world, don't ever, ever ring the bell. To the class of 2014, you are moments away from graduating, moments away from beginning your journey through life, moments away from starting to change the world for the better. It will not be easy, but you are the class of 2014, the class that can affect the lives of 800 million people in the next century. Start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better. Thank you very much. Hook 'em horns.
All right, just 30 seconds left. We'll pop these on, come back to me. And what we'll say there is that this was a process analysis for how to change the world. If you want to do that, maybe approach some of these things that Admiral spoke about. I don't often get to play that because of the time, but it is a good speech. I would tell him not to lean as he's doing his talking, but obviously he's an admiral, so I wouldn't say that. And now you have a few things to think about going forward. Next Monday, we will start the presentations on process analysis, so we'll see you then.